a chance for thunderstorms later today.
Yes, we do have that potential for a rumbler over the high terrain, and maybe one or two of those could roll their way into the Willamette Valley as we move through the rest of this afternoon and evening. But a KOIN 6 weather alert still remains in place as the summer heat continues this afternoon, even out along the shoreline, seeing those above average temperatures. As we take a live look from the shore to Mount Hood Meadows, where we're picking up on a few of those developing clouds, eventually bringing back the chance for rain, as our daytime high temperatures are still sitting on the toasty side right now, in towards the mid 80s for many of us, almost 90 degrees up towards Vancouver. So this is just a taste of what's still to come as we work our way through the peak heat hours of the day. But this go around today, not likely to break any records. Our forecasted high this afternoon, 89 degrees out at PDX. The old record for this particular day is 93 degrees, last set back in the year 2006. As far as our satellite and radar goes, just a little bit of noise. We more than likely have our radar site turned onto the clear air mode, as very little activity still remains overhead, but we'll likely be slowing down that radar, spinning it so we can watch those developing storms out over the high terrain of the Cascades. As we pick up on just a few lightning strikes just to the east of the mountains right now, again, that will be developing over the mountains and maybe potentially rolling their way into the Willamette Valley as that thunderstorm potential remains elevated today. And already starting to see some of those clouds over the past hour or two developing over Mount Hood as the snow continues to rapidly melt up in elevation. As that thunderstorm potential is garden variety, so that means some heavier downpours, which leads to the threat for some very isolated flooding. Small hail is a possibility, and also lightning is a big threat. And we like to call this dry lightning as the landscape rapidly starts to dry out. Some of these thunderstorms might be producing more lightning than actual rain, and that poses a threat to the wildfire risk because that lightning can start and spread the wildfires rapidly. That's why our fire weather danger still remains slightly on the higher end of things as opposed to where we have been for the past several months, but expecting to see that wind down as the return of a few raindrops makes its appearance. As a ridge of high pressure continues to build over the western half of the country, we like to call this a omega blocking pattern. It stops any weather movement from the west to the east, so the cool pocket of air that we see over the Pacific Ocean not making its way back into western Oregon and Washington anytime soon. So that's why those temperatures will remain above average as those thunderstorms start to develop over the high terrain this afternoon, but we do expect to start to dry things out by the time we get into the afternoon hours. In our 7-day forecast, putting us on the hot side once again today, climbing up to 90 degrees by Wednesday, but even Tuesday with highs into the upper 80s, that is still a very real possibility. But we do eventually start to cool things off by the time we get into Sunday, but a dry stretch of weather is setting up. So we're starting to move into this weather pattern that's a little bit more summer-like.
Right. Remember we were so desperate for it, and now we're here like, can you just dial it back?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. Yeah. We'll be right back.